Hello, welcome back or welcome to the You at Your Best podcast. I'm your host, Morgan. For this week's episode, I want to talk about my fall bucket list for fall 2025. I already made a fall themed podcast episode for this year, but it's all about romanticizing fall as a mom. So I wanted to make an episode about fall in general and just my personal bucket list whenever it comes to fall of this year. I've noticed that I've been getting a little bit out of the fall spirit here lately. I got so excited for fall super early, and that's what I normally do. And sometimes I get excited for it so early that I find myself getting kind of bored of it by the time fall comes or towards the middle to end of fall. So I wanted to make this episode to get me back into the fall headspace and to continue romanticizing it just like I was doing for a really long time, way before fall even started. So the first thing I have on my fall bucket list is to branch out with music. I am the type of person that once I find something that I like, I keep on listening to it over and over again. Sometimes to the point to where I'm tired of it, but even if I'm tired of it, I won't listen to something new. And because of that, I find myself getting tired of music a lot more than the average person because I'm not letting myself branch out and listen to new stuff. For whatever reason, listening to songs that I know so well is comforting, and because of that I really struggle to branch out. But for this fall I want to branch out. I want to start listening to more music, and I've already started doing that a little bit. I absolutely love listening to new songs and listening to the lyrics, especially whenever I realize that I relate to a song on a deeper level, like The Archer by Taylor Swift. I will give anything to listen to that song again. It is just such an incredible song, and it's so relatable. I don't think I've ever related more to a song in my entire life, and a lot of Taylor Swift songs are like that. And I want to find other artists that I really love that remind me of Taylor Swift or remind me of fall in general. I made an entire fall playlist, and I put some songs on there that I started listening to during the fall time, like Nessa Barrett, and then artists that always remind me of fall: The Neighborhood, Chase Atlantic, Girl in Red, Clairo, the 1975, the band Him. Growing up, my mom always listened to music like that, like Breaking Benjamin, Him, a bunch of other things, but my mind is blank right now. And it's always so nostalgic listening to those bands and listening to bands like that. And Him, I absolutely love the lead singer's voice. Like, it's just so mesmerizing. It sounds so amazing listening to it. And I want to let myself branch out in that way by listening to music that I don't usually listen to very often. And then I put music that I listen to all the time, like Olivia Rodrigo, Taylor Swift, Gracie Abrams, Nessa Barrett, Arctic Monkeys, and stuff like that. There's just a lot of different music on there, a lot of different genres, because if I'm true to myself, then my music taste is very broad. Okay, the next one I have going to a pumpkin patch, but specifically with cute outfits. I want to get dressed up really cute, my baby, my boyfriend, and I, and going to a pumpkin patch, maybe taking pictures. Since my baby's a little bit older, she can enjoy things a lot more. The pumpkin patch that we go to a lot, it has like a little trampoline type of thing. It's not really a trampoline. I have no idea how to explain it, but it's like sort of, it looks like a big pillow, but it's a trampoline. And last year, she couldn't really get on it. She was only 3 months old, 2 months old, one of those, I can't remember. I think both during the fall time, and she couldn't really move or do anything. But this year she's walking around all over the place. She loves jumping. I'm excited for that, and I'm excited to take her this year. It'll be a lot more fun than it was last year. Next, I have making fall crafts with my baby. I love making crafts for each holiday, like of her fingerprints or her handprint or her footprint, and keeping those as keepsakes and giving them out to family members. I think it's so cute. It's stressful, especially with her. Even whenever she was super tiny, she would freak out, and it was impossible to get her hands, so I don't have anything of her hands whenever she was a newborn, because she always like held her hands tight and would start freaking out and screaming if we tried to open them or paint them or anything like that. It was just a mess. So I always did her feet feet. But just doing little crafts and stuff like that for Halloween time, giving them out to people. Okay, next I have going to fall festivals. My baby's pediatrician is actually doing a fall festival this year, which I think is so cool and so cute. So we'll probably go to that and just going to different things. We live in a small town, so I'm sure there's going to be a lot of fall things going on. We have like this event every year and they do it at the city park of my small town, and that would be so fun just to go there and look around. They sell things, a lot of food, a lot of homemade things, and it's just really fun going to things like that, like farmers markets and stuff like that. Okay, next I have going to the fair. They already had the fair in my town this year, but I'm thinking they're gonna have another one. I'm pretty sure they have more than one during the fall season, but I'd love to go to the fair, and I love roller coasters. Like, they are one of my favorite things to do. They're so exhilarating, and the scarier they are, the better. I love it so much. I love the feeling, which you wouldn't think because I'm naturally a very anxious person, but I don't know, whenever it comes to roller coasters, I just love it. And the second I get on one and then I get off, no matter what kind of mood I was in, I'm instantly happy because I love roller coasters so much. My boyfriend, he's terrified of roller coasters and he will not go on them with me, and that's fine. We can like bring people with us. And I have one friend growing up, her and I used to always go on the roller coasters together, and we were always like a team going on the roller coasters together. So I'll probably go on there with her, and she's just like me, absolutely loves roller coasters, and we do things with them all the time. Even now, she has 2 kids, so just going to the fair and letting my baby ride those little cute small rides. Okay, the next one I have is going on a train ride. There's this train probably an hour and a half away from us. I'm wanting to do it so bad this year. We did it a couple years ago at Christmas time. It was so fun, but I want to do the fall themed one. You just go on the train. You can look out at all the pretty woods and the mountain. It's on a mountain. It's in Blue Ridge, if anyone knows where that's at. And I'm excited to go do that because we've never done it for fall time. So we have some friends that we do stuff like that with a lot of the time, and we invited them. The next one I have is to bake fall desserts. I am not a baker at all. I've always been really bad at baking, cooking, anything that has to do with the kitchen. I am the world's worst at it, and I usually absolutely hate it. But during the fall time, it feels more fun, and it's easier to romanticize it. So going on Lemon8 or Pinterest, Instagram, TikTok, and just finding different recipes for different baked goods, cookies, donuts, because the fall time is honestly the only time where I'm okay with maybe giving it a try. Next, I have having a more consistent cleaning routine. My boyfriend and I both, we are very messy people, and we hate cleaning so much. And because of that, our apartment is usually a huge mess. And even though it's kind of disgusting, I'm going to be honest, we don't clean our bathroom as much as we should. And we most of the time go to bed with dishes in the sink. We don't really leave stuff laying around. We always pick up after ourselves because we've had problems with ants in our new apartment because there's a bunch of ant beds all around the apartment. But I want to have a more consistent routine, and I'm slowly getting more into a routine in general with my baby. She normally wakes up around 6 or 7 a.m., has a bottle, and then she'll lay back down right after the bottle for a little bit, and then she'll wake up again between 8:30 and 9:30, and then stay up again until around 12 for her first nap. And then after her first nap, she'll get up, have lunch, and then play for a little bit, and then go to sleep again. Usually between 4 and 5. It's different each time. She'll wake up from that nap, have dinner, and then after dinner, my boyfriend here lately has been getting off of work at 5 p.m., which is really nice. So we'll have dinner, get her cleaned up, and then we will do the dishes and then go outside. And while we're outside, the dishes are in the dishwasher and they're running through, and it's a lot easier having that routine and having that predictability, even though I do love having days that are more out there sometimes and where we're not at home all the time. Having that routine does feel really nice. So we do that, and she'll go outside and play. She goes outside and plays every single day, even as it's starting to get cold. We're still gonna bring her outside. So just having a bit more of that consistency in our routine is really important to me. And like I said, having a more consistent cleaning routine, and I'm getting there. It's taking more time, but that's one of my goals for this fall season. Next one I have is fall shopping. I have been fall shopping a little bit, but not a lot. And I want to do some more fall shopping, even if we're not buying anything, just doing window shopping. I love just going around different stores or farmers markets and just looking at stuff. Even if I don't buy anything, I just love looking around at everything, going to thrift stores and looking at different fall clothes and stuff like that. And that actually can lead into the next one that I have, which is being more intentional with what I buy, having less consumption of new stuff, so going thrifting more and buying secondhand more. This is partially because we can't afford to just buy everything new, but also partially because it's important to me that I'm more sustainable and don't buy a bunch of things that are not the best for the environment. And it's taken me a long time to get here, and I'll talk in a future episode about all of this and how I got to the place where I am now as a person who is overwhelmed by a lot of stuff. Sometimes whenever you're overwhelmed, you just have to buy whatever works and just use that for the time being. But I'm finally getting to a place to where I can buy more sustainable stuff, like sustainable products, cleaning products for my home that are more non-toxic, and I can focus more on that. Whereas before I couldn't, because if I tried to, it would have just overwhelmed me even more. But yeah, just being more sustainable, having less consumption overall. A couple of months ago, I found myself starting to fall into that trap of feeling like I need to keep up with other people, specifically in motherhood, feeling like I need to keep up with other moms. For her birthday, for example, I for a long time put so much pressure on myself for it to be perfect and for it to be the cutest birthday party ever, when reality is it's just a fucking birthday party, and she doesn't even remember her first birthday anyways. And we did go all out for her birthday because my mom and my boyfriend's grandmother and my grandmother, we had a lot of help, and we didn't pay for most of the things for her party. We didn't set up her party at all. They set it up. All I did was choose the theme and buy her outfits. And that was it. They did basically everything else, which I'm so grateful for. But I don't want to put pressure on myself to look perfect or buy the best things just because everyone else is doing it. If it makes me happy, that's a different story. And a lot of the time it does make me happy. But if I find myself starting to feel like I have to do it and I'm getting stressed out, or I feel like I have to look a certain way to other people, then I take a step back and I stop. Because once I get into that headspace, I will just start buying, and it's not good for our bank account, and it's not good for the environment, and it's not good for my mental health. And it really doesn't matter at the end of the day what clothes my baby's wearing. I love putting her in cute clothes, and that's something that makes me genuinely happy. But if it's stressing me out, it doesn't matter. Like, no one cares. People see a baby and they think they're cute regardless of what they're wearing. Okay, the next one I have is a spooky movie night and make those little like ghost pizzas. I'll post some on my Instagram post for this episode. My baby is still too young for that right now, so my boyfriend and I will probably do it once she goes to bed. And just having a little date night for us two would be so fun. And me trying really hard not to fall asleep, because every time we watch a movie together, I fall asleep like halfway through the first movie. Especially after having our baby, because I'm just so tired all the time. But trying to stay awake during it and doing it on a night where neither of us work the next day, it'll be really fun. And him and I, we hardly ever get to make time for one another. We're both so busy, and although we spend a lot of time together as a family, him and I don't spend as much time together, just the two of us. And we've been going through a stage right now where we're kind of doing our own thing, which is totally fine, but I would really love to get together and do more things together. The other night, we watched a Halloween movie together on Netflix, and it was so fun. I fell asleep like towards almost the end of the movie, but even then it was so fun. And we used to watch Impractical Jokers every day together. We would eat our meals together every day, and since our baby was born, we don't have as much time to do that stuff because we can't just bed rot all day like we used to. But I would love to do that, and just having more dates with him in general, even if it's just dates at night after our baby goes to sleep. The next one I have is to go on a nature walk. My boyfriend and I, we usually every single day we go on a walk through it's really nice and we have a lot of space. And we have this little car thing that we push our baby on. So we already do nature walks a lot, but like doing nature walks at different places, like going to the mountain. We live right next to a mountain, so going up on the mountain and doing hiking trails and stuff like that, and maybe even making it a date and letting someone watch our baby for us. The next one that I have for my bucket list is I really want to jump into a pile of leaves with my baby. I feel like that would just be so fun, and As a kid, I used to do that all the time. We would pile up leaves together, and at my family house we had a playground with a slide, so my brother and I, we would rake leaves right in front of the slide and then slide down into them. So once we get more leaves, we already have a good amount of them, but once we get more, raking some together and then jumping in them with my baby and my boyfriend, I just feel like that would be so fun. And just having that tradition where we do that every year sounds so fun. Okay, the next thing I have for my bucket list for fall of 2025 is to eat at home more often. We go out to eat a lot, and if I'm being completely honest, most of our meals are fast food or ordering from this local Mexican restaurant on DoorDash because they're really cheap. But for this fall, I want to make more fall foods and us having a real family dinner together, sitting down together. And I want to do that more often than we eat out, which is going to be a little bit hard for us. And it's also really bad for our bank account how much money we spend on eating out. But like I said, I hate cooking. He hates cooking too. Well, no, he doesn't hate cooking. He likes cooking, but he experiments with cooking, and because of that, he takes forever to cook anything. And I think since he takes forever, it tires him out more. And since he's more tired, he's less likely to do it. But just cooking more at home and cooking easy recipes that don't take a lot of time, that don't take a lot of energy, making like more soups and more fall recipes, like looking up on Lemon 8. My boyfriend and I are both obsessed with Lemon 8. We find so many recipes on there, and it's so refreshing. If you don't know what Lemon 8 is, you should download it definitely. It's lemon and then the number 8. And you can find so many things on there, and it doesn't feel as toxic as the rest of the social media platforms. It definitely is. Don't get me wrong, I've made posts on there and people have bashed the shit out of me. There was one post where I was talking about the type of parent that I want to be. So many people were going on there telling me millions of things of why everything that I'm doing is wrong. But for the most part, Lemon 8 is a really great social media app and is usually less toxic than the other ones. I think as it's gotten more popular, it's become a little bit more toxic, but for the most part, people just post recipes and advice and cute pictures, inspiration, stuff like that. And it's not like Instagram where it feels like you have to look perfect on there 24/7, which is nice. On Lemonade, you can literally just post whatever you want. And it has this thing where you can post, I think, 21 posts every single day, and then you get a stuffed animal. And I got one. It's so cute. The next one I have is to go to a drive-in movie with our daughter, or maybe having someone watch her at home so my boyfriend and I can go. We have a drive-in near us. It's maybe an hour and a half away, and I used to go there as a kid all the time. It was always my favorite place. Before I met my boyfriend, I always said that was my dream first date, and I miss going there all the time like I did as a kid. Next, I have going trick-or-treating. Last year we went trick-or-treating. We carried our baby around and she was Batman. People gave us a lot of candy even though she didn't eat any of it. But that was the perk of having a baby. Me and him got to eat the candy. This year, maybe she can eat some of it. I don't know, like maybe a sucker or something, but we still don't really like to do a lot of super sugary things for her, like processed sugar, refined sugar, whatever it is. But we'll go trick-or-treating this year, probably in the same place and with the same people that we went with last year. And I love trick-or-treating. It's so fun. I always loved it as a kid. It gives you something to look forward to on Halloween. I feel like I am often looking forward to something so much, and I put so much pressure on a holiday being perfect. So if it ended up being we're on Halloween day, we didn't have anything to do, I would be so disappointed. So going trick-or-treating really helps with that and gives us something to do, even if it's not like the funnest thing ever to some people. I think it's so fun just because we're going out, spending time together. We're not stuck in the apartment. Okay, the next thing on my bucket list for this year is to possibly buy a bench for our porch and decorate our porch, our front porch. I've been wanting a bench for our front porch for so long, but they're so expensive and we haven't really been able to find them. Plus we haven't really been prioritizing that, but I want one so bad, and I all the time want to just go outside and sit on the bench, but we don't have one, so we never get to. We have a welcome mat, but that's all we have. Last year, I decorated our front porch at our old apartment with pumpkins, and we had our welcome mat, and then we had our table and chair that we now keep on our back porch at this apartment. So if anyone knows of a cheap place to find a bench for our front porch, please let me know. I don't care what color it is. I'm not picky. I just don't want like a bright color like pink or orange or something like that. A neutral color is fine. Okay, next I have make more money for my podcast. podcast, there's this thing on the podcasting RSS feed that I use rss.com, where no matter how many listeners you have, you can start earning money from brands. And I think I'll do that this year. That's on my bucket list for fall. I'm gonna do it before Thanksgiving. And basically you just make your own ads and you have your own code, like discount code for different companies. So that'll be really cool, and maybe I can make some money from that. I already have ads in my podcast, but I don't have enough listeners to make money off of them. So maybe, crossing my fingers, I will get some more listeners as time goes on, and by the time 2026 starts, maybe I'll be getting paid for my podcast. Okay, and then the last one I have is to dress up and have at least one fall photo shoot. Knowing me, I'm probably gonna have way more than that because I love it, but just dressing up in a really cute outfit and taking pictures with pumpkins and the fall leaves, and just having a bunch of really cute fall pictures and fall inspo of me by myself, of my baby and me, of my boyfriend and my baby, of us as a family. Okay, and that's everything on my list. I do want to say before I end this episode, this is a bucket list. So this is not something that is required. I'm not going to put a lot of pressure on myself to do all of these things. These are just things that I would like to do. And if you want to make a bucket list, keep that in mind, that you do not have to do everything. You don't have to be realistic when making the bucket list. Be realistic to a certain extent so that you know that you can actually do the things. But if there are some things that you want to do and you don't end up doing, that's okay. You can do them next year. The year after, you can never do them if you end up not really caring or realizing that you don't really like it. For this week's journal prompt, I just want you to make a bucket list of things that you want to do for fall and do like at least one of them. Especially if you're a parent, I know it can be really hard to do the things that we want to do. And sometimes life gets in the way and we don't end up getting to do everything. So be realistic, but also remember that you can put things that you may not do, you think that you probably won't do. That's fine. Just put them on there anyways, and maybe you'll do them next year. Okay, thank you so much for listening. I'll see you next Sunday.